down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
And gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, yep, we're back with my homeboy, JJ Grits. That's JJGRITS. If you missed the last...
It's two T's.
Two T's, same thing.
Come on.
Anyway, he's on
isn't?
Instagram. Just Google is up, and you can find him on Instagram or Facebook. He does this thing called Get Drunk Hour and meet real estate investors at a bar twice or once.
Bring your checkbook.
I'm telling. Second Tuesday of the month. He's a great friend of mine. We've been office mates, and we've exchanged deals. And this is a controversial deal. I don't know. I can't wait to hear how JJ
You broke my heart.
unrolls this deal. Well, first of all, we were in the same office together, and I was excited that he's a wholesaler, not really, but he works for he has his own wholesale business. Doesn't work for anybody now. And I would always he was a part of an association that got really good deals, and he would be telling me about deals, and I was like, man. And then he would be selling these deals, and so I would ask him every once in a while, yo, what houses do you have for sale? So he finally sold me a deal. I had to twist his arm, and
I sold it 2 or 3 other times before I relented to you, though.
I was the dirt ball on the bottom of the red. And I remember. Anyway, so let's not talk about that deal. We'll bring you back on for that deal because we'll just keep that anticipation. But one thing I loved about JJ, he has a passion for real estate, and he would knock on my door, or was always open, and we would start talking about market cycles and all random stuff, and say, so do you have any deals? I would love to buy a package of 10. That was the question that you always asked me. I was like, who is this guy? Do you have any to sell? And he literally, when he would leave my room, my blood pressure would go up a few dials, and I was like, oh, maybe I can sell him. Maybe I can sell him 10. But he's a wholesaler. He's going to know the prices, so it's never going to work out. Yeah. So you asked me that question at least 5 times, man. I'll buy 10.
A day? 5 times a day?
I'll buy 10.
Yeah.
And it was very unique and strategic because I was like, man, I don't talk like this guy. I don't randomly walk up to people, I'll buy your portfolio. I'm like, okay. So one day he was in his normal motorende and coming into the office. What do you have for sale? And I just locked up 10 condos. Or did I sell you 6?
You sold me 6.
6.
The 6 crappiest condos.
Yeah, actually, I was like, package. I locked up 6 condos with an option for a 7th one that I got on the side. It was 7 condos, and he was like, "You have anything for sale? You want to sell anything?" I was like, "Well, I was going to take these. I was going to make 10,000. I was going to remodel these and make 10 G's on each one. Mm-hmm. They were great price points. They were worth between 35 and 45 a piece." Mm-hmm. I got them. I'll sell them to you. I just want to make 10,000. I had a goal at the time. You were in part of my giving goal. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But my goal was to give away 100,000. You were my first transaction.
And I donated 10% of that. That's how I look at it. You're welcome, Life Church.
Thank you very much. Seriously, and I remember it was in January. I just locked this deal up. It wasn't an easy deal. It wasn't an impossible deal, but I worked with a realtor that it was an awkward situation. The people that owned the property were realtors themselves that weren't good realtors that bought these houses and ran them kind of into kind of a oblivion. They weren't really coherent on what tenants were doing in there. When I went and did my inspection, and so okay, that's my side. You walked into the office. Hey, what do you want to sell me? I got these 6 condos. Now let's go on your side.
And you coated them with honey, and they were pure.
Dude,
no,
I was
joking.
up front with
I'm joking.
I told you about what's that HOA Nazi?
the crazy COA.
Nazi.
I'm still dealing with those people to this day.
Now the great thing is, I even tried to sell you number 7, and you punked me on that one.
Yeah,
I was like 35,000.
Nope. I'll give you 10.
But I turned around and sold it for.
I'll give you another 10 for the church.
I did sell that for, I can't remember. I made a bunch of money on that. I bought that one for 17.
Didn't you sell it on payments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I sold it for like 40 something.
Yeah. Okay. I've done that too. Okay.
Oh, okay. So tell me.
So let's get
into
into
You were frustrated a lot. You looked at me.
I'm still frustrated. I'm pissed off at you.
You give me the squalls.
Every time I see you, it makes me think of the worst deal I've ever done.
No, hell no.
Hang on. Let me preface this by saying I had a rule. You know, as investors, you come up with a rule and you're like, this is my rule. I'm following this rule. And then somebody shows you a shiny object and you're like,
No condos?
I don't know what that rule was.
No condos.
No condos was my rule.
And the reason why?
COAs, baby. COAs.
HOA.
Well, same thing. Condo Owners Association, Homeowner Association, right? All right. So anyway, I walk in like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, what do you got for sale, buddy? And he goes, have I got a deal for you? And honestly, look, here's the deal, guys. We're talking about $120,000 deal on 6 condos.
I sold them to you for 20 each?
Yeah.
And they appraised?
I want to say 220 was the ARV on those as a pack, which was a little low. It's a little low.
It was a no money down deal. That's why you couldn't you couldn't be bitching at me.
I can be bitching about you because I got a lot of money in this no money down deal, but we'll get to that.
Yes, I want to know about that.
All right. So here's the deal.
So you went and looked at them?
Yeah, I didn't. I never saw those. Never saw them. Closed them without ever seeing them. You're like, they got to close this week. And I'm like, well, I'm out of town.
Oh, yeah.
And you sent me pictures. And don't ever buy a deal off of pictures, folks. Tip number 1.
I sent you crappy pictures.
Yeah, you did.
They were crappy.
Yeah.
They were like the worst.
So anyway, here's the deal. All right, so it's a $120,000 deal. I do the numbers, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, this kind of makes sense. Why would I not do this? So I never go see them.
Is that where you went wrong?
Probably so. If I probably would have seen them in person before we did the deal, I probably wouldn't have. The only one that I went into so 5 of the 6 were rented. There was 1 vacant. I went into that unit, and we knew
decent.
It was okay.
And you did a good rehab.
We did. So, let me just go ahead and get this out. This is the worst deal that I've ever done. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad deal. It's been a learning curve for me, and it's been a headache, and so I bitch about it. That's basically it. Okay. So anyway, we take the deal down. We get half information from the realtor, half information from the owners. They screw finances up. We had problems with closing. I didn't get closing docs. I mean, it was just a mess the whole way through. I had no idea what I was paying. I got to the closing table, and it was just like, so a lot of mistakes were made by me on that side of the transaction.
But it was cash flowing.
Yeah, hypothetically, on paper, it was cash flowing. 5 of the 6 were rented, and 2 of those 5 were maybe paying rent, and not all of the rent.
So you're buying them for 20. What was ARV?
Yeah, again, so it was like 220 for the whole package.
So 45 each.
Yeah, sure, whatever that math works out to.
Do you run your whole portfolio? We'll get into your portfolio here.
Yeah.
Your whole, just whatever.
So, anyway, yeah, they're worth 35 to 45. You know, the right buyer, maybe $50,000 on the 3 beds a piece. So we take them down in January, and February rolls around, and let's see,
you pimped one out.
Yeah, so I'm working on rehabbing the one that's vacant.
You didn't do the cabinet. You didn't do the countertops. I noticed when I looked at the photos, I was impressed. I was like, damn, I should have did that. I could have sold that for 45. I could have been 20 G's on that one.
Yeah.
But then when I went back second time to look at your photos, I was like, ooh, I didn't say you cut a corner. You didn't do countertops like I thought you would do.
What was the decision? They were in good shape. They were just dirty. So we cleaned them up. We put flooring in that I'd pulled out of another project. So recycled that. Put some carpet in it, painted the cabinets, painted the trim, painted the walls, put some new lights in. Boom, we're done. So it was a pretty cheap
Did
rehab.
you rent that one quickly?
No, I didn't.
That's the face. That's the face I'm used to, like the a-hole face.
I didn't. I did not. It took forever to get that rented, and so February rolls around. I have one tenant that didn't pay. I called them, said, "Hey, where's your rent at?" "Well, I can't pay it." I said, "Okay, well, I'm posting a notice just so you know.
You're out.
You're done.
No pay, no stay."
Yeah. They're like, "Well, our last landlords worked with us." I said, "Well, I'm not your last landlord." Right. And then I had another.
Did you evict him?
I evicted him.
Okay.
Month 1, first eviction.
So that was your first. That's why you kept.
Month 2, second eviction. Seriously, had another tenant. Month 2, didn't pay. Got him out. Yeah.
How about the cool people that were downstairs that lived there for 10 years?
They're gone.
What happened?
They ghosted in the middle of the night a few months ago. So first 2 months, now I go from 5 being rented to 3 vacant.
Hey, 50%. That's better than 20.
Yeah. All right. And so,
my bad.
No, it's all good. We have, so
where are you at today? A year later.
Well, so we've remodeled all but one unit. I've turned every unit except for one unit, basically. So we've remodeled all but one. I've got 2 vacancies. One is about to be filled. We have a prospective tenant that wants to move into it. So I'll have 1 vacancy over there. That's a year later. I mean, that's literally a year later.
Rent so that you're...
So that's the other thing. We've been able to raise rents on everything. So
to what?
Stuff was renting for like $750, $800. So our 3 bedrooms over there are renting for $950 a month.
Nice.
So
on a $20,000 investment,
$950 a month. Now you got to keep in mind that there's a $300 C. I pay $1,774 a month in COA fees on these 6 units.
But
right?
you don't have to pay gas.
I don't have to pay any utilities. The renter takes care of their electric and the gas, the water, the trash, the sewer, and the basic cable are included in their rent, which gets paid by the COA. I'm not happy about that, but there's no change in it. That's the way it is for now. So we've increased rents by $100 to $150 per unit.
Now keep in mind you own 10% of this.
I do. Yeah.
That's pretty baller because my goal was to take them all down.
Yeah. Well, you can come get the other 90% and I'll sell you the last 10%.
I have another. All right. So what you've learned, what dramas did you have? Give me some.
I mean, I learned a lot of lessons on this thing, man, honestly. So we started building our rental portfolio out in June of 2017, and I took these down in January of 2018. So this is
later.
This is like the 4th deal basically that I took down. So I went from 3 rentals to 9 rentals with this package, right? Which is part of the reason that I thought, hey man, this is how you really put some trajectory in your growth of your portfolio is to take down packages. That's why I was always asking for 10. Give me 10, give me 10, give me 10, give me 10, right? I want to take chunks down. I want to accomplish things in big groups. Anyway, I learned a lot about dealing with a different class of tenant than I'm used to dealing with, right?
It's not low grade. It's a middle.
It's low grade for me. For my typical, what I want in my portfolio, that is kind of, it's a C, probably a lower C class property. And just
older too, right?
There's a lot of older in there. And it's not to discourage anything against the older generation. They just like things the way they are. They're not open to suggestions in that COA, and so it's been very challenging to deal with them. A lot of our tenants in those particular units are younger, and so there's a clash of just kind of generational gap there. They're very used to things being the way that they want them to be. They don't want a lot of kids in the deal. I mean, you can't do any of that, right?
Right, it's illegal.
And they don't understand that. They're like, well, this is the way it's always been. And I'm like, okay, well.
What do you think about their office area / common area / clubhouse
/ personal hangout space with all the old dead people's furniture in there?
Isn't that
it's
crazy?
Like when somebody passes away, they go get their furniture and move it to the clubhouse.
It's got like white couches to leather couches.
It's ridiculous. And so that's been a whole experience, is dealing with that. You need to make sure that if you're going to buy condos, try to buy the majority of it so you can do what you want. But no, in all realistic, seriousness, it's make sure that, number one, the COA is solvent. Make sure they have reserves. Make sure they're up on maintenance. Make sure all of that stuff, and make sure that they're people that you can get along with, man. I mean, who wants to own something in a place where you're going to constantly be battling with someone to get things accomplished? So ultimately, at the end of the day, to wrap it up, what I would say is I broke a rule. I probably shouldn't have broke a rule, but we're ultimately we're working through it.
Are you cash flowing now?
Yeah.
Even with the 1 vacancy or 2 vacancies?
Yeah, they do.
Cool.
Yeah, 3 is kind of the break even on that. Now, there is a good side to this. So the one tenant that I haven't evicted actually is buying their condo. They're on rent to own program. They're paying me out over 5 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
They wanted to own it.
45?
49.9, I think. Yeah.
That's half of what I sold it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. A little under that, but yeah. And they're paying me 10%, almost 11% interest actually. So I'm arbitraging the difference between what I paid for it and what they're paying for it. Yeah. What I sold it for and the difference in interest.
Do you plan on staying in this environment? Do you want to take on a
part
couple more?
Part of my ultimate plan is to either sell them all to the tenants on payments, or to get them fully leased, get them operational, show good numbers on the books, and then move them on down the road and reposition that debt. It's not a ton of debt, but
120s. Did you take out cash at closing?
No. And I've got a lot of cash in it because all the rehab that I've done out of cash.
What's the numbers? What do you have in it, you think?
I think my loan position is like 120. I did roll my closing costs and stuff in.
It was a no money down deal, period.
I didn't bring any cash to the table.
Which is epic.
Right. And now I've got cash in it because I put the rehab in. Now I could leverage it up, but I'd rather have
safety.
Yeah, exactly. So I think my loan is like 126 on it, and then I've probably
you're 50%. No,
well, I've probably put another 25 or 30 into rehabbing. So it's still a really, really good position.
So on a perfect day, what's your total cash flow as of like today? They're all rented out. Let's just say on an average of 900, so 948.
Yeah, so
minus the 17. 9 times 6 is 48. Minus the 17 you're paying to HOA.
I mean, they average in the high 200s per door after reserves and everything.
You could.
And management. I have management on those because they're a pain in the ass to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah. So after
could
everything,
net 15 in a perfect day, 2 G's a month.
I mean, it's.
I'm just quick calculation.
Yeah, it's closer. It's closer to 1,800. It's a little under 1,800 a month. Yeah, it's great, right?
Yeah,
on paper,
and it's
that's
fixed.
the problem on paper, right?
Yeah, you don't want to get that call because I've gotten letters from that individual before that runs the HOA. And I was like, you can't do that. Jim.
Yeah,
sorry. They wouldn't. I moved somebody in. They wouldn't let them because they weren't on title. I'm like, listen, I own the property. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a challenge to deal with, and it's just it's figuring out how to have the conversations that you need to have.
Go down there and give her some cookies.
Yeah. I've taken the more forceful route, and it seemed to work for me. So
just stiff arm them?
Yeah. Just, hey, this is what I own 10% of these things. This is what I want done.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Sure. I like the attitude. I mean, not to be negative or cool, but the place was ran down by HOA or COA, whatever, and no one's ever questioned them. Majority of the folks that live in there are older. They're just thankful that they don't have to pay a utility bill for their heat.
Yeah.
And they're living on a great dime. And the lady that runs the place is living on a great hustle dime. And
that runs a place that doesn't even own a condo in there, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Or she had her friend run the maintenance. It became a kind of a situation. A lot of things were uncovered later.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm still involved. Like
some extreme nepotism, let's just put it that way. Yeah.
You're using these sexual words like Anyway, all right. So I'm glad it worked out. I love your exit strategy. Turn it, forget about it. Or sell it as a package. Definitely today's market, it would sell in a heartbeat for 200.
I mean, it's about getting them performing.
You'll net 40, 50.
Yeah,
and you had some brain damage along the way, so okay, that's good. So when you tease,
you got to take your lumps in this business.
So when you're teasing me, it's out of love. It's not out of like, man, that guy bent me
I
up.
like ribbing you. You know this.
I'm like, I felt bad. It's like because I didn't know how monstrous that gal was.
Yeah.
Until I started fighting with her, and she started getting on my tenant, and I was like, yo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't imagine what JJ's going through.
No, and it was a conversation that I had. If you've got a problem with my tenant, you need to call me. Mm-hmm. You call me. You don't deal with them, and the same thing goes for my tenant. If you got a problem, if they're giving you grief, you call me. All right. Let me deal with it.
This is great. All right. I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad that it got us up to 9. I doubled your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, baby.
Yeah. And so we've added.
Where are you at now? Tell me about your portfolio now.
Yeah, we've added some more to that. We're at 15.
15 units within almost 2 years. So you said June 2017.
About 20 months now. Yeah, I bought my first one. Yeah, June.
15 units.
Yeah.
In a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah,
that's more than a month. One a month.
Yeah, it was for a while, and we've slowed down a little bit because I had every one of them that I've bought, I've had to rehab. It's just the nature of the properties that I buy, right?
And you've wholesaled quite a few as well?
Yeah, we've wholesaled a significant amount. I think I did. I say a significant amount. I don't wholesale a lot. I'm probably
because I'd be buying them.
Well, I'm probably.
That's why you're on the radio show. This is manipulation technique.
You can't flip and take stuff down as rentals, and so I'm limited on that. I probably do maybe 9 wholesales a year. That's it.
That's cool.
And it's just really to refill the coffers for
Keep
marketing.
The ball rolling.
Yeah. It's just kind of a necessary evil. If I could take everything down, that I wanted to, that number would be less. But I ultimately, at the end of the day, my banker likes to see some cash in the bank account. And we get deals in parts of town that I don't necessarily want the house, and so it's better to, instead of try to make something work with that, just kick it down the can.
Like the east side?
I've got 2 houses on the east side, but they've got to be the right property in the right area. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is doing what I do. I know a lot of investors. I usually know the right buyer for the house when I'm there. If it's not a fit for me, I know who it is. And so that's the other thing with my wholesales is I don't send very many of them out. It's usually 1 or 2 phone calls and the deal's done.
Me too.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are like, I don't ever see anything from you. And it's like, well, that's because
it's sold.
Yeah. A lot of times it's sold before I ever leave the house. I mean, honestly.
You did that one I bought from you, but that just didn't work out.
Yeah,
then you had it pretty sold quickly.
Yeah,
and that dude backed out.
Yeah, the one that you bought from me, I actually sold it twice. I sold it twice
quickly.
Yeah, it was twice before I sold.
And I was a little nervous, but maybe they couldn't handle the size, the location.
Actually, what it was the ARV came back kind of bad. And they were going to have to put cash into it, and they're a typical OKC investor and was like, I don't like to put cash in properties.
I can't remember. I don't think I put that much cash in
You didn't. You put, well,
I hit you for 5. I got you for 5,000. Because that was our big debate, was the 5 Gs.
Yeah.
And you were like back and forth. It was fun negotiating with you because you got a poker face.
Yeah. Well.
And you got a little assy to you, a little sassy pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you got to, right? Listen, you got to have fun in this business.
Amen.
Otherwise, what are we doing it for?
True.
Yeah, but I sold it twice. One guy wrote me a hot check. I won't mention any names. Wrote me a hot check for his earnest money. And then the second guy,
weird.
Yeah, it was a weird deal. But anyway, it worked out. It's worked out good for you, I think.
Yeah.
So we've both sold questionable deals to each other, and it's worked out fine. So
I'm content now. I mean, I was nervous when I rehabbed it, over rehabbed it.
Yeah.
I ran into some issues, normal, typical crap.
Yeah.
Heat and air stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've had a tenant in there since day one.
Yeah.
And the probably going to be a lifer. All right. So your rental portfolio now.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah. So like I said, we're up to 15. We've bought pretty well on our portfolio. We have probably, probably $450,000 in equity.
Nice.
In our portfolio.
What are you using that for? You're going to cash it out?
Yeah, we are in the middle of I've been saying this for a while, and I've been dragging my feet, but we're in the middle of getting ready to reposition our entire portfolio and kind of move some things around, recapitalize so we can go again in 19. I have a goal of adding 15 more units to the portfolio next year. I want to double in 19. But we're leveraged pretty low. We're leveraged in the 60% right now, so I've got some room to pull some cash out. It averages about $230 per door. So
on cash flow,
free cash flow,
after property management,
after capex, after vacancies, repairs, taxes, insurance, all of it.
No wonder banks like you.
Yeah, they like me.
Yeah,
and I'm very and that's very deliberate. I'm an analytical guy by nature. Yeah, I love spreadsheets. I love numbers, and so a deal really has to make sense for me. It really has to be the right type of property. It has to have the right numbers, or I'm not putting it in my portfolio.
Cool.
I don't want anything, that is a stretch to make it work. I've got one deal that we bought in Yukon. It's a 1,700 square foot house, and I bought it because it had a huge equity spread in it. It's not really a super strong cash flow, but it does okay. I mean, it's still $180 a month on a 1,700 square foot house.
This is in your portfolio now?
It's in my portfolio now.
So what's the retail ARV on it?
170. I paid $115
what are you renting
for it. $1,325 is what I've got it rented
so
for.
you bought it for $114?
$115, yeah.
So you're less than 1%.
No, I'm more than
13,
1%.
You said 15. You getting
$115,000, and I
1% of that, mother, is
$1,150.
Oh, what?
Use your calculator. I'm right.
And you like those deals because you have to have a good loan on them to really cash flow. Like
yeah,
a 30,
so the
30-year
great deal about that deal is you can put it on a 30-year AM. It's got enough ARV. Pretty much, there's some companies out there, they want the house to appraise for more than $110,000. And if it does that, they'll loan 75%. Some of them will do 80, 75% of appraised value. If you're doing a refi, and they'll do a fixed 30-year. Literally fixed, like
What's
your
the
primary
fees
residence
to close that deal. Is there points?
There are points. You're going to pay a little bit more for your mortgage up front. They do escrow. A lot of people don't like that, but I got to pay that crap anyway. Doesn't matter to me. It's coming out whether it's going into my bank account or it's going into an account for
one
them.
less headache for me.
But and there's some credit unions that actually offer really, really reasonable rates. They're very specific on the type of property that they want. They're very specific on the credit score that you've got to have, and they're very, very specific on.
So that was my question. For you. I know with the association that you're part of, you can get private money pretty quickly or hard money. Mm-hmm. What's your vibe on hard money or bank fund? Obviously,
I've
like
never
banks.
used hard money, so I'm not a good judge of that.
So banks, you like banks?
I like banks. I like private individuals.
Have you done a private loan before?
I've got some private money.
Long term, short term?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Okay. So, friends and family kind of thing. I haven't branched out to where I'm, actively out in the market, but
you really don't need it.
Well, I'm in a fortunate position that we've been able to put some stuff together, and I realize not everybody has that. But we've been able to put some stuff together. Actually, the organization that I'm part of is coming out with a new lending product, kind of where we've got a lot of institutions. We submit our loan app and they kind of bid for it, which is great. That's coming out in 2019, so I'm kind of excited about that. But other than I really haven't used any of their money. I've mostly dealt with local banks here in Oklahoma City,
which is ideal.
Yeah, I find them really easy to deal with. It's a relational business. I can take people out for drinks and we usually have a pretty good time. Lubricate them a little bit and then hit them up for the money. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else on that? Because I got so many other questions.
Yeah, no. That's basically where we're at.
Cool. And so how are you going to plan on getting to 15 units in 1 year? Tell me, you have a marketing plan?
Yeah.
Are you going to be bending over and putting out bandit signs yourself with your hiney in the air?
No. I don't believe in bandit signs. They're a blight to our city. They're illegal. I don't like them, but I understand it works for some people. Honestly, I buy deals any way I can get them. If you're a wholesaler out there listening to this, you better hit me up. It's gciokc@gmail.com. I want your deals. Send them to me. gciokc@gmail.com. Yeah, it doesn't stand for anything. It does, but don't worry about it. Send them to me. Send them to me. Seriously, I'll buy from anywhere. I buy off the MLS. I buy from other wholesalers. I buy out of my deal pool. Whatever it takes to get those deals. That's how you have to be in this business, right?
Well, you have an advantage over other people. You have a beautiful wife that loves you and supports you. She told you to quit your damn job.
I've very much married up.
But the one great thing about her is that she is a realtor and she has a full-time job.
It's realtor. There's no A in there.
Realtor mother. So how does that happen? Has that been an advantage for you? Did she decide to be a realtor after you became a full-time investor? How did that conversation happen? Because she had a successful job. She works for the largest company, one of the largest companies in Oklahoma, right? Mm-hmm. And she loves her job. Mm-hmm. She enjoys it.
Yeah.
It provides for what y'all want to be doing.
Yeah.
You little young couple, still acting like newlyweds, running around out there on Facebook with selfies.
Deliberate.
Yep. You got to keep that. You got to keep that marriage alive. So, how did you convert her to being a realtor? Was it, and she's got great success as a realtor already. How did that conversation go? A lot of men have that question.
Yeah. So yes, she has a very good job. She's very successful in her job. She likes what she does. So it's definitely a side hustle. And it was a situation where, hey, I think you should do this. It would help me in my business. It would help you with something to do outside of your normal everyday routine of going to work. Not that she doesn't have a ton to do already. She's very active in a lot of different things, but so it was kind of we had a conversation. It was something that she felt like she could be successful at. It's something that she felt like she might enjoy. And ultimately, I mean, it was her decision. If she didn't want to do it, and I've told her, if you don't want to do this, don't do it. But she enjoys it. She has a serving heart. She likes to help people. I mean, ultimately, I think that's probably her true calling is just to serve others. It gives her a lot of joy. But anyway, so we had the conversation. It would give me access to the MLS. It would give me access to market data. She
Which
could help.
is what you love.
I love it. I like looking
The
at
spreadsheets.
I love it.
I
love it. And she could help me offload my, my product through listing it with the MLS.
Did she help you with your new builds?
She did not, but if I do any in the future, obviously she will.
How long has she been a realtor now? And if you need a realtor, her name is Kathy Gritz.
Kathy Gritz.
Cathy
Gritz, GRITTS.
So there's always a need for a realtor in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. She's with Keller Williams Elite. It's one of the biggest agencies here in Oklahoma City. She is part-time. I do like to tell everybody that, but I guarantee you she outworks a lot of full-time agents. So she decided to do it. I think she's had her license for 3 or 4 years. She's really been active as long as I've been in the business. So she kind of started it before I went full-time. And then got super active a couple years ago. And she does a lot of my stuff, and then she does stuff for friends of mine. If they have flips that they've done, if they have hotels that they want to put on the market, she'll list them for them. She's a full service agent. She offers some deals to friends of ours as far as commission rates and stuff like that. And she hustles, man. It's a cool. job.
I love her. I love her personality.
It's a second full-time job. Yeah, I do too most days. Sometimes, and she's a saint for putting up with me and my craziness and shenanigans and my wild dreams. And she's
big trucks. How the hell she gets up on that truck?
Man,
do you have a ladder for that gal?
We just do it. Just do it. Don't act like she drives a piece of crap. She drives a nice car too. It's not. But no, she is a very, very big supporter of me. She believes in my dreams. We have shared goals and vision of where we want to go as a couple. Awesome. And I think that's really, really
important.
It's super important, man. If you're doing this and your spouse doesn't believe in you, what a challenge. What a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I coach people, and that's a struggle, and I think it does hinge on the husband to have the vision. You said that in the last episode that really struck a chord. I wrote it down, You quit that job because they kept changing the vision or the direction.
Let me back up and say I don't think it hinges on the husband to have the vision
100%
of the time. I don't think so,
listen,
bro.
Listen, I'm going to tell you. This is the deal. It's the man of the king of the castle.
No.
He has a vision. He has a dream. Now, she has to have a vision, and she has to have the dream, and they come together. What happens with marriages, I know this turned into a counseling session. Good. What happens is like the gal, she supports the husband, but she doesn't do her own dream. Or the man just railroads the female and expects her to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, but he doesn't explain why we're buying houses, and it causes a conflict.
Well, I would say that there are some, I like to call them boss bitches in this industry, and they have the vision, they have the dream, they have the drive, and husbands are along for the ride. So I would not necessarily agree, but here's the deal.
All right.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, you guys need to be on the same, if you're doing this and you're a couple, and especially if you're going to work together, you guys got to have the same vision. You got to have the same goals. You got to want a lot of the same things, right? And you got to know your roles, right? If you're the support role, then you need to understand you're the support role. You're not the conductor. Mm-hmm. You're there to support the conductor, and that's fine. And there can be different conductors for different phases of life, right? Kathy is the conductor in our relationship when it comes to like the PR side of things, when it comes to the community involvement, when it comes to the charities, when it comes to honestly most of the other things outside of the real estate business, right? Because she's got a softer personality. She's got a more approachable personality, and honestly, she's got a bigger giving spirit. She's kinder than me, and she has to be the public face of our relationship, and it's for the best because I'm a very direct, very gruff person sometimes, and so that needs some rounding and softening, and she's able to accomplish that for me. That's not to belittle that role at all, because that's extremely important, right? If nobody can stand you, you're not doing deals.
Sure.
You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
And so that's very, very important too. She's our giving arm. She is the one that keeps us involved, keeps us giving of ourself, of our money and our time and our, awesome. And that's very important in life too.
And she enjoys that role, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of her heart, All
right. So let's wrap this up.
Sure.
So give us some advice. Someone maybe has done a couple of deals. Maybe they bought 4 houses in 4 months and they're on fire. What advice would you give? Not a rookie, because the conversations that these 2 episodes have been above rookie. How could you get out of being a rookie and being like a consistent investor? What advice? I know this is a difficult question. What advice would you give them?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there with your word, consistent. You've got to be consistent. What are you doing to get your deals? Are you doing it consistently?
Daily.
Are you looking at deals every day? If you want to be doing deals, you've got to be looking at deals every day.
Yeah, well,
literally.
Yours 15 in 1 year. I mean, that's more than one a month. 1.1 a month.
Yeah. Well, we did. So 20. I just contracted personally my 22nd deal of 2018. I buy for another franchise in town, and I think I did 7 for them. So it's almost 30 deals this year. Guess how many houses that I looked at to buy 30 houses? It's a bunch.
Over 100.
Yeah. Please. It's over 300 probably, honestly.
Right. I mean, that's a rule. A rookie rule is you have to look at 100 houses to pop a deal.
Yeah, and it may be closer to 600. I don't know, but it's a bunch.
Cool.
I'm looking at deals every day. It's being consistent. It's
networking, going to the happy hour. Have you ever popped a deal from your happy hour?
Yeah, I've sold deals. I've bought deals.
You got 6 condos from moving into an office?
Yeah.
I got a deal from befriending you.
Absolutely. It's about, this is a relationship business, right?
Period.
If you're not working with people, if you're not networking with people, if you're not top of mind, you're missing out on deals. So it's staying engaged, making sure you're acting with intent, making sure that you're not just spinning your wheels, that you're actually doing something that's going to accomplish part of your goals. And so, I think that's it. You've got to operate as a business, not as a hobby, and work with intent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, JJ Watt, this is number 2 episode. It's been 40 minutes, and I'm like, we can go on for days.
Has it been another 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
God, you got to shut me up, bro.
No, you're doing a great job. So listen, I'm going to call you out right here.
Yeah.
So I can bring you back.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about next time, so we can leave these ladies and gentlemen, investors, as some teasers?
You
like a challenge, tell me, I don't know, what's been bothering you in the real estate world. I think a disconnect of people. I think there's been these people do that, these people don't do that. Do you ever see that?
I think the biggest thing that's been bothering me here lately is hearing people say, I can't find deals. I mean, it's back to that deal. It's back to, I can't find no money down deals, and they're just sitting on the sidelines. I mean, that's the biggest deal.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
So the next time you come back, we're going to talk about how to really find deals, how to analyze a deal.
Yeah.
Because you're really good at that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult for you because you're not going to have a spreadsheet in front of you. We're going to do it right here, just face to face. Bring a computer. And we'll have you on. If you want JJ to come back on the radio show, at least text me. Let me know that he was informative and you gained some knowledge from his sacrifice of working, grinding this out, leaving his job on faith and growing a great portfolio within a short amount of time, a dream come true. You could almost retire if you just stopped what you're doing and paid your mortgages off.
Yeah.
What would your net worth be debt free on those 15? What did you say? 15 units?
Yeah. 1.2 mil.
1.2 mil.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Welcome to the radio show.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.